Hello friends, we got there. I watched the first episode of Game of Wool, the new Channel 4 knitting show, and I had so many thoughts that I have talked extensively about. I talked about the things that I liked, I talked about the things that I didn't like, and I talked about some of the critical reception online. And now you're probably all thinking, go on then, if you're so clever, what would you do if you were making this show? And I am going to tell you. First of all, 3 challenges. 3 challenges just works. The format feels balanced, it's what people are used to, and we know it can work in that kind of time slot if you edit it right. So I would keep an individual and a group challenge, but I would actually put the individual challenge last, and I would lead in with what, for lack of a better word, I'm going to call the technical. So your technical challenge is basically demonstrate a specific technical knitting skill. But do it on a small scale, by which I mean swatching. We're doing swatching as part of the show, because everyone will hate that. Now, if you really wanted to do Fair Isle, like that would work. It would probably be, here is a Fair Isle chart. We want you to knit it in the round with a steek and then present it to us flat on a blocking board. I think that would be doable in like 2 or 3 hours. You wouldn't have to give them very long. The result of each one of these would be quite small. But I would let people pick their own needles and their own yarn. You'd be testing people's ability to pick the correct needles for the yarn that they've picked, their colour work choices, but also if they know they're doing a steek, have they picked the right yarn for that? I say knitting a blanket with a steek, in which I used superwash. The point of a technical challenge is to trip people up. So the technical challenges would be hard, like I'm going to make you do brioche, I'm going to make you do a lace chart, I'm going to make you do cables, but always in a small size. Do me a square, put it on a blocking board, jumble them all up so you don't know who did which one. I think that would be fun, and I think it would be a good way to set the tone for the episode. Challenge 2, the group challenges. And really you could swap the group challenge and the technical challenge around in the episode order. I think this is really a matter of personal taste. So we could still keep the sofa challenge from the first episode, but instead of cover the sofa, why wasn't it just decorate the sofa? Let people choose what they're good at and the needles and yarn that they're comfortable with, and then they make something. And, you know, we could have had one group maybe went with a more classic design and gave the sofa like a couple of cushions and a throw and maybe like a lace doily over the back. And a different group might have decided that what they wanted to do was something really like avant-garde, and you could have got a bunch of little rugs and patches and pillows that made it look like a face or something. You've got a lot more room for creativity, but also for each individual knitter to show their personal tastes. And then finally, the individual challenge.